Good evening and happy Saturday. Thanks for spending with us. I'm Brooke Buckner. Here are some of the stories we're bringing you tonight. It's back to school season across the U.S. and here in Arkansas, a lot of kids are set to go back next week. We'll show you how they're getting ready for the big day. And as the kids head back to school, you'll want to make sure they stay safe online. What state police say you should keep an eye out for. Plus, as Northwest Arkansas grows, its recycling programs are struggling to keep up. The plan that could unite communities and change recycling efforts. But first, we start with crime, as tonight Little Rock police are once again asking for your help to find Ricky Minor. He's wanted for capital murder after police say he shot a teenager back in December of 2023. The shooting happened near North Chico Road. If you know where he might be, call Little Rock Police. Roderick Lewis, the Arkansas man who shot and killed a detention officer in 2022, was convicted of murder last night after a 3-day trial. He snuck a gun into an intake area of the Perry County Jail before shooting and killing guard Jeremiah Story. He has been sentenced to life and also received an extra 15 years for being a felon with a gun. And I'm joined now by meteorologist Simone Thomas. Simone, people all over Central Arkansas are braving the heat today at back-to-school giveaways and Benton's annual Amplify Festival. No matter where you are, we're all just trying to find ways to stay cool.
Definitely. It's been a hot one across the state today. We've had a few heat alerts for some of western Arkansas. That's the portion of the state that continues to see the highest temperatures and heat indices. Feels like temperatures exceeding 100 degrees continue across a few locations. Searcy, Batesville, some of those locations, as well as Russellville over into the Arkansas River Valley, and a few locations off to our west. Hot Springs and Little Rock still maintaining feels like temperatures of 99 right now. Feels like 98 in Pine Bluff. This evening, here's a look at those heat advisories that will continue through 8 o'clock, so just before sunset this evening. Now, we won't see these continue into tomorrow, but tomorrow is going to be another hot and humid day. Right now, though, through the afternoon, we've been seeing a little bit of rain across southern Arkansas, which over the last hour, a lot of this has lost its steam and dissipated. These storms have stayed non-severe, but where you were able to squeeze out some of the clouds of rain, that hopefully gave you a little bit of relief from the heat. As we continue through the evening, mainly clear skies, and we'll see temperatures fall to the middle 70s. More details on the days ahead are coming up in that 7-day outlook.
Thank you, Simone. The countdown to the first day of school is on, and across Central Arkansas, organizations are putting a fun twist on preparations, all while giving back. THV 11's Maya Ellison shows us how families are heading back to school in style.
Not your typical day at the Hillary Clinton Children's Library and Learning Center. Parents and kids packed the building for the 3rd annual back-to-school celebration.
We like to celebrate them and equip them with haircuts, dental screenings, give them lots of fun through yoga and fitness demonstrations, and kind of get all that energy out before we're back to the classroom.
This year, they brought the circus to life, kicking off what organizers call the Big Top Bash.
And it's been great. They're walking up and seeing the circus performers first. That was just so much fun.
People from all walks of life and corners of Little Rock are here to celebrate our Little Rock youth and provide them with all the fun things necessary for their school.
From haircuts, games, and even a selfie booth, every stop captured the kids' excitement ahead of their first day.
I'm usually most excited about meeting new friends.
Mayor Frank Scott also joined in, emphasizing the impact Saturday's event has for families.
You know, our youth are getting a chance to excel. They're getting a chance to avail themselves to new opportunities in the new season.
The fun extended throughout the building as tables were lined with school supplies. And outside, vendors help parents prepare too.
Our children get new teachers. That's a new opportunity for us to foster a new relationship and build their village, not just with the teachers, but also with the other parents that are in the classroom.
Over in North Little Rock, CARE's Youth Coalition held its back-to-school celebration.
We have invited over 20 organizations to participate, and these organizations will have information and contact information to let parents know what we have available in the city.
Focused on family, food, and fun, all while meeting students' needs.
Pencils, paper, anything that a kid might need in school to be successful. We have all those materials available.
For THV 11 News, I'm Maya Ellison.
Thanks, Maya. And THV11 is partnering with United Way to make sure every child has the supplies they need to learn, grow, and thrive. Every dollar you give helps ensure no child walks into the classroom empty-handed. You can go to THV11.com right now to donate. The THV11 School Supply Fundraiser wraps up August 11th. A big thank you to everyone who has already donated. Meanwhile, U.S. Education Secretary Linda McMahon has announced plans to visit Arkansas next week. It's part of her Returning Education to the States tour ahead of the new school year. Arkansas, Tennessee, and Louisiana will be the first stops. Secretary McMahon says she plans to visit several classrooms and spotlight the work educators are doing at the local level and hear directly from students and teachers. The announcement didn't reveal a specific date or which schools McMahon would visit. And with the first day of school nearing, state police want to remind you to keep an eye on your kids when they're online. They say the best way to make sure your kids are staying safe on the internet is to simply talk to them. Let them know about the dangers of interacting with strangers and make sure they understand the importance of not sharing any personal information over the phone.
Make sure that parents are talking to their kids, know what they're doing, know the platforms that they're on. Every device has the ability of implementing parental controls. They just have to get on there and learn how to do it.
Now, if they do make mistakes online, experts warn you not to overreact and make sure they know they have a safe space to come forward when they need to. Online safety experts are also urging parents to not share too much info in those back-to-school photos. They say predators are looking for things like your child's name, grade, and what school they go to. They say posting that information can make them a target. Online safety is one reason for the Bell-to-Bell No Cell Act, passed by state lawmakers earlier this year. It prohibits students from using phones during the school day across all public schools in the state. Most districts will use specially designed locking pouches for students to store their phones. There are, however, exceptions for emergencies and other situations. One law that was supposed to take effect in classrooms this school year was Act 573. The law, signed earlier this year, requires the 10 Commandments to be displayed in every classroom across the state. It has been partially blocked by a federal judge in Fayetteville, Springdale, Bentonville, and Siloam Springs, but supporters of the bill say it's an important part of history.
It played one role. It was not the sole foundation, but played a role in shaping the laws of this country. So it's important that students are educated on the history of our nation and where we came from.
Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders says the state will appeal the judge's decision. Another bill that was passed earlier this year alters the protocol when it comes to organ donor decisions. The law tries to allow for late life family changes, and a federal judge has put a hold on it as well. Act 861 gives families the right to reverse a loved one's organ donation. Supporters of the act say circumstances of a person's death can impact the decision, and families should be able to take note of that. But those suing to block it, including an organization that helps get donated organs to people who need them, call the new law confusing. A hearing to make the temporary injunction permanent will be held September 26th. And Attorney General Tim Griffin says word has come from Washington that election law changes passed this year comply with federal court orders. Notably, a new rule that clarified to win a local election, like for mayor, the winning candidate has to have a majority of the votes. That would seem to make sense, and it lines up with a 1990 court order that spells that out. But some places avoid runoff elections if leading candidates gain a majority of the votes. Now the new law gets rid of that, and the Department of Justice gave what's called pre-clearance to let the law go in place. And 60 years ago this month, more than 50 men went to work just outside of Searcy. Their job, maintaining the Titan II, a nuclear missile, one of dozens that were installed underground across the country in the 1950s, ready to be launched in the event of war. But in August 1965, a normal workday became a disaster when a large fire killed all but 2 of the workers. One of those men is Gary Lay.
53 men are dead, 53 men that woke up that morning and kissed their wives goodbye, patted their children on the head and went to work and never came home.
Join us for a THV11 special presentation, Danger in the Silos, the Titan II Incidents of Arkansas, tomorrow, August 10th at 7 on THV11 Plus and Monday at 6:30 right here on THV11.